Good morning. Welcome to Life Online. I'm really glad that you've joined us. So 2019 was a legacy year for us. It was quite a journey, but one of the stories that emerged early in the year was a story about resourcefulness. If you think these are tough times, these aren't the only tough times that we've been through before. And we've made it through before as a people. God always helps us, but I love the story of resourcefulness that comes from the Dust Bowl days. The 1930s in America, there was drought, there was wind that created huge dust storms, and it absolutely scrubbed the Midwest of almost all the crops and the plants. People died of dust pneumonia, and many went ahead and just abandoned their farms, their livelihoods, small towns in the Midwest, and they headed west just to try to find work. Many were broken by the severity of the drought. And in fact, there was great discouragement, despair, and even there was a real spike in suicide. But during that time, you find common crows. And the crows ended up just as a great example of resourcefulness. Even when there were no branches or no plants to be found for these tough birds, they nested by gathering up barbed wire and whatever else they could find. And in fact, that's what you're looking at up there, is a nest that's mainly made out of, a few twigs and things like that, but mainly barbed wire. Now that's resourcefulness. Now I'll just tell you this, that not only our lives and throughout our history, but the Bible is full of stories that talk about individuals that wasn't the easiest of times. A guy by the name of Elijah. He is a prophet. You would think that all the favor, yes, that God had on him and all the miracles that ended up occurring in his ministry, but it doesn't mean his life was easy. In fact, in 1 Kings 17, the declaration's been made. There is a drought that is hitting across Israel. And Elijah has announced to Ahab, it is not going to rain except at my word. And God tucked him away and he hid him. In fact, in 1 Kings 17, it says, God spoke to him, leave here, and I want you to go to the Kerith ravine. And while you are there, east of the Jordan, you will drink from the brook, and the ravens will go ahead and feed you there. And sure enough, in the morning as well as in the evening, ravens came. By the way, close relatives, you probably wouldn't be able to differentiate between a crow and a raven, but ravens brought him food and took care of him. We love that as the story of God's provision, but the truth is a raven was one that usually picked up roadkill and in fact was an unclean animal. And yet God took care of Elijah through that in the middle of really tough circumstances. So I don't know what your life is like if you think that God should just create this wonderful big comfy couch of a life for you, and that the way He takes care of you is going to mean that your life is going to have a life of ease, and then you can give glory to God because God made your life comfortable. I will tell you this, you have an unrealistic view of God's working within our lives and the lives of individuals with people of faith that are all throughout the Bible. They face challenges, they face tough times, just like you're maybe facing right now, and God brought them through. I love what the Apostle Paul says. He said this, I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through Him who gives me strength. There's a God who loves you, cares for you, but He hasn't called you to be a quitter. He hasn't called you to be a complainer. He wants you to face the challenges and the tough times inside of your life with a real sense of faith in God. And it might be the confession of these times aren't easy, but God will get me through this. That is the God that carries us along. So as you head into your day, live your life and live your life resourcefully. Don't quit on God. He never quits on you. God bless. Have an awesome day.